Hello everybody and welcome back to World of Warships Legends. My name is Spartan Elite 43 and tonight we are back in the Scharnhorst, aka the Shiny Horse, aka the most controversial video I have ever made. Okay, that's probably not entirely true because let's be honest, me coming out as trans video was way more controversial. But but in terms of views per hate received because of video, it's probably gonna be the Scharnhorst video. And I've spent years avoiding the ship. Why? Because y'all keep asking for it. But we know that I've been trying to go back and revisit a lot of these ships you guys have been begging for a long time. So here we go. We're back in the Scharnhorst, aka the Shiny Horse. And I'll be honest, I don't remember the last time I played this ship. I know I've got a total of 21 games played in this ship. And when you consider how far back into the history of the game the Scharnhorst goes, you can understand where I'm coming from when I say I don't play the ship very often. And there's a reason for that. I just don't enjoy it. However, I think we can all agree that I have a much better handle on the game currently than I did back when this ship first released. So if you go back and you look at the Meet the Scharnhorst video, it's got like 37,000 views, and there's a lot of comments throughout the history of World of Warships Legends where people have talked about how bad I played the ship and how I don't know what I'm doing and all of this. So here, we're out to redeem ourselves. Have we learned anything about the Shiny... God bless America! It's a Scharnhorst, Spartan. I know it's called the Scharnhorst and it means shiny horse, but Lord have mercy, can you please at least get the name right? Anyway, I'm feeling good today, can you tell? I had a heck of a workout today. It was pull day in the gym. Then I got out of the gym. It was hot as crap, but I went ahead and got my walk in. And then while I was doing my walk, I went ahead and shot the island. But no, while I was doing my walk, I went ahead and did some jogging with my normal walk. So I've been averaging 13,000 steps a day this week, and I'm trying to get back on track. And now I'm starting to add cardio in on top of my walking to try to get back in shape. Y'all know the deal. I'm out here trying to be the best me that I can be. That's all anybody can ever ask, right? That's all anybody could ever ask of you is to be the best you can be. Now, with that being said, we're not going to worry about that. If you guys enjoy what I do, while we're getting into the meat of this game, and I promise this is going to be a doozy of a game, while we're getting into the meat of this, you enjoy the fact that I'm going back in time and revisiting some of the videos that I think people have really requested, punch that like button. And if you haven't subscribed yet, let's go ahead and punch that subscribe button because I upload daily World of Warships Legends content. I'm starting to stream a little bit of PC. I'm doing a little bit of everything, okay? So if you guys enjoy getting a lot of content on the daily, please help me out. Join the Spartan Army, and let's put these guys in the Hurt Locker, shall we? Now, the first thing I'm going to say is I'm top tier in this lobby, okay? Scharnhorst as a top tier ship is pretty disgusting. Because nothing overmatches you, really. I mean, technically they do. I mean, tier 6s overmatch you, a couple of the tier 5s overmatch you, but for the most part, nothing really overmatches you. And those that do overmatch you, most of them don't understand that you have an extended belt that goes all the way to the bow, so if they shoot waterline, you're just going to shatter or ricochet their shells anyway. But pay attention to that Nebny and the Mayhem that's here. I'm going to go ahead and try to turn away from these guys. We keep getting reset by this carrier. I'm not chasing a Nebny down because there's no reason for me. I've got better things to do. We're on a timer. And that's one thing that I want everybody to remember. This map, Fault Line, is one of my favorite older maps. Now, it used to be really awful when it comes to playing it all the time. But when you haven't played it for a long time, it's kind of nostalgic, you know? Also, nice bombs. But it is kind of nostalgic to come back to some of these older maps that we haven't seen forever and get to play on them and show what we know about the maps. And this one is one of those maps that you're always on a timer. If you spawn on this flank, you're usually at a disadvantage. So, and I'm talking about the enemy side. If you spawn on this flank as the enemy, you're kind of at a disadvantage. So you kind of have to dig in and hold and hope to God your team can push the other flank hard enough to come in behind the people that are shooting you. Right? So this carrier didn't get the memo that he probably should have run away a long time ago. So we're going to push up on this guy and try to get rid of him. Now, I want you to pay attention to one other person in this lobby, and that is the California that's behind me. I am going to showcase the difference between a faster battleship and a slower battleship. California being the slow battleship. He should have, if he wanted to go, he should have cut inside, right here at Alpha. Right where I came through, he should have went into. Reason being is because he doesn't have the speed to get around the flank very well. So he's going to spend a lot of this game doing basically absolutely nothing. That's not to say he's going to be useless. I'm just saying that positioning in a slow ship like that is key. And you get those shortcut areas, you could potentially do a little bit better for yourself if you take those shortcuts to get into position. You can keep those guns cycling longer. But our heavy cruiser has overextended. He's gotten himself into a gunfight with a Miyoko, and this Miyoko is actually a Giga Chad who actually knows how to use armor piercing. If a cruiser's sailing broadside to you, you load up AP, you can slap people too. It's not just an HE spamming cruiser, right? Now against battleships, it's an HE spamming cruiser, but it's going to take down our Devonshire, which is hilarious. Okay. Remember, the Japanese heavy cruisers are heavy cruisers too. All right. That's why their HE hurts so much. It pins everything, right? But we're going to try to get rid of this Miyoko. And after shooting, I have no idea. He had to have been right on the edge, as we citadel him again. Had to have been right on the edge. When you see his health later, just remember, in true Spartan fashion, we got to leave him with just enough to get away. But anyway, the man had to have been right on the edge of his range, because as soon as he shot, he was disappeared. Like, he never actually got spotted again. But the California is kind of following me around the map, but he's too slow. Like, I'm going to be able to put myself in a much better position to help the team than he is for a lot longer, because I've got the speed to move around. I'm doing 27, 28 knots, sometimes up to like 30 knots, because I'm putting my, I'm a faster, I'm essentially a battle cruiser, man. The Scharnhorst may be a pocket battleship, but it's basically a battle cruiser. Let's be real. It's got armor, which is why most people don't classify it as a battle cruiser, but it's got very small guns. It's got 283mm guns, but it has 9 of them. So unlike the Graf Spee, it actually can hit targets. And the Graf can as well, but you get a lot worse RNG when you only have 2 turrets instead of 3. But here, our guy is pushing up in the West Virginia. He's kind of putting himself into a position where he's going to get yeeted. But fortunately, because he keeps this Z spotted, we're going to be able to get rid of the Z. Now, unfortunately, he dies in the process. But we take down our 3rd ship of the game. We've also secured the cap. That is the last destroyer that's really like any sort of threat to this game, right? So we have the points lead as long as our team doesn't throw the game. Well, make no mistake about our team trying to throw the game in terms of our carrier not getting his butt out of the way, knowing full well that guy was spotted the entire way around that corner of the map. There is no reason for the carrier to be there. Again, I bring up the fact that carrier players have auto drive. All you gotta do is click on the map and your ship will sail to it. There's no reason for you to be caught like that. None. But I digress. In this particular game, I don't think it would have mattered if he had run. And the reason being is because they have a renown that's full health going all the way around the outside of the map. So even if he had run, he would have run right into the renown, so it wouldn't have really mattered either way. And that's when our friend in the Miyoko, look at this guy. He has about 5,000 health, probably a little bit less than that. We'll call it 4,500 hit points. How do I know this? For those of you who are newer to the game, when you look at the health bar of an enemy ship, each little line on the health bar represents 5,000 hit points. So you can kind of get an idea of how many hit points your enemy has by counting those colored bars that they have. Multiply it by 5,000 and there's the amount of hit points they have. A lot of people, believe it or not, a lot of people don't understand that. So when I say, well, this guy only has about 5,000 hit points left, they'll be like, how do you know that? Now you know. So as you can see, Bayern here has, 5? So he's got at least 25,000 hit points. Okay? He's got a little bit over that, so probably 26,000 hit points. But as we push in, this Bayern makes a critical error. Now, you can tell that this guy understands that I have torpedoes, but he waits too long, and I probably damaged Khan a little bit early here, but he waits too long to make his move, so he gets trapped by the island. So, in this instance, we've already got 4 kills. We're going to pick up our Kraken, and there's absolutely nothing this man can do about it. He's going to try to dodge, but unfortunately for him, it's too little too late. The island's there. He either beaches and dies, or he runs into it and eats the torps either way. Because we were never going to miss those. Not on a battleship that big. And we pick up our Kraken. But, watch what happens next, folks. Look at our positioning of our California. Look at the positioning of the destroyer on the minimap. Why am I telling him that all we have to do is defend the cap? I'm trying to use the dialogue wheel initially, and then I'll eventually get into the cap. But you can see, the destroyer's right there, right? Now, we know the Nevny doesn't have the longest range torpedoes in the world, so what I immediately start doing is I'm, A, going to try to shoot the Nevny, if I can, but B, I'm trying to tell the guy to get out of there, man. California, just run away. There's a battleship that has torpedoes left. There's a destroyer that has torpedoes. Just get out of there. We have all of the advantage. There is absolutely no reason for the California to put himself in a position to get yeeted. And there's the torpedoes. Shocker. And as he turns away, he gets out of range of those torpedoes, which brings us right back to what we're doing. And you can see I'm still trying to say, just retreat. You have no business being up in this fight. Now, that's not saying that he's a bad player or anything like that. I'm just simply like trying to preserve the victory. And knowing that he can't really retreat. Both of these ships, there's a battle cruiser over there with torpedoes and overmatching guns, and then there's the Nevny out there with torpedoes and can be sneaky. So the California's at a huge disadvantage in these fights. So it's going to be up to me to try to protect the California and protect the win. Now, I don't know much about the Renown, other than the fact that it's a British battlecruiser and that it has torpedoes. I know that, and I'm assuming it has 15-inch guns because most of their battlecruisers do, right? So as I push in, I'm keeping in mind that I have to be ready to dodge torpedoes. Now, fortunately for me, I am a much smaller battleship than he is, which puts me at an advantage when it comes to dodging torpedoes, right? Also, you got to keep in mind that the torpedoes on the Renown and other British battlecruisers as you go through the line and stuff, the torpedoes are the turning torpedoes. They're underwater torpedo tubes with gyros installed that allow them to come out at strange angles and turn. What that also does is it's a single torpedo tube each time they fire. They may have multiple single torpedo tubes, but either way, they can't fire a full salvo of torps, which gives you a much better odds of dodging as we get 4 penetrations or overpins on the destroyer. Now here, I probably use my my secondary booster a little bit early, but I know I'm trying to dodge the torps, so we start pointing in the direction of the torpedoes they're coming from, right? We anticipated the launch, we dodge all of his torpedoes, no problem. Unfortunately, right as we're about to launch our torpedoes in return, the Nevny hits us with HE and destroys my torpedo tube. Go figure. Didn't even knock it out. It just immediately got destroyed. That is unbelievably unlucky. But here we come around the corner, try to get like skinny again, and get prepared to be using our torpedoes off the left side of the ship. But I don't want to open the angle because I know that it being a British battleship with 15-inch guns, I know that it's got faster reloads, right? So you don't want to go broadside and let him get a chance to slap you. We dodged even more torps from the Nevny, and I also used my secondary targeting to target the Nevny specifically, so that we didn't have anything, so they can continue to work on the Nevny while I continue to try to kill the Renown. Now, as the Renown opens up, selling out to try to get these torpedoes away, I go ahead and I lead the torps, and just as I go ready, I'm like, I'm hesitant. I didn't know whether I wanted to shoot the Nevny or shoot the Renown, but unfortunately, the friendly battleship finally comes through and he hits the Renown and finishes him off, which just narrowly robs me of my 7th kill. But we ended up with a 6-pack, 167,000 damage, Confederate high caliber, all the things, Dreadnought, secondary close quarters medal, Kraken Unleashed, all the things, 3,200 base XP, and what you just witnessed is my best game ever in the Scharnhorst. So, did I redeem myself from the old controversial video? I'll let you guys be the judge. But I think I've proven that I know how to play the Scharnhorst. I just choose not to. So let me know down in the comments below if you're enjoying, and if you like what I'm doing, punch the like button, leave a comment below, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and as always, I will see you in the next video.